Epic Action, a Star Wars Unlimited podcast. Your source for community building, tournament tips, deck building discussion, and all things Star Wars Unlimited.
All right, and welcome back with another episode of Epic Action, a Star Wars Unlimited podcast. How we doing, guys?
Doing good.
Been a minute.
All good, all good.
Yeah, just had the games and stuff. Planetary Qualifier at in Maryland this past weekend. I think it was the first event in a while where all three of us were there. Can't remember when the last time it was.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah. So it was fun, games and stuff. They've hosted PQs every season now, every time, every cycle they've had. But this is actually my first time going to their new location. It's giant. It's basically, I think it used to be furniture store. And
it's just a grocery store.
Something, but either way, it's big building like that, and it's just full of board games. I just had fun just looking around all different stuff. They have a cool used game section, which I was very tempted on, but I got a lot of sealed games here that I have to play first.
Yeah, there's so much stuff in that store. I'm just like, no, keep my wallet in my pocket.
Yeah. But yeah, it didn't help that. So Paul and I went the night before. We stayed up in Baltimore, like 20 minutes away.
And still almost showed up late.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in a second. But
still almost showed up late.
Well, not our fault.
Yeah,
it was a little bit our fault, but not our fault. Yeah, we had fun. We rode scooters around. I don't consider that downtown, or it was just.
Yeah, we rode scooters around through downtown and Inner Harbor, and we just had a good time looking around the city. And we got to go to shout out Jimmy's Seafood, which is amazing.
Yeah,
if you guys haven't had, make sure you get that.
I'll be thinking about that sushi for a while.
Or just find somewhere better than Baltimore to go. Your choice.
It was fun. It was my first time really going there, like just to like explore. I've been there for like a Comic-Con at one point. That's about it. So, aquarium when I was little.
Nice.
Anyways, we were almost late because we were leaving. We left on time. We left like right at 9:05. 20-minute drive. We'll be there. Plenty of time to eat. And then some sort of event. I think it was a 5K. There was tons and tons of people in green shirts walking around. They closed traffic off. We had to turn around. Of course, that means everyone's turning around. We're trying to move through this like cramped street. You just got stuck. Thankfully, we like made it at like 9:50. But yeah, good times.
Yeah, mind you, I got home at 1:30 the morning of. Was back up and out of my house by 8 a.m.
Sure.
To make it there. I made it there by 9:20.
Yeah, well.
So.
Anyways, so let's talk a little bit about the event format. So this is one of the first sealed PQs. I think there's been more a couple of times, but this is it was one of the biggest ones.
One in the U.S., I think.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
It was a milestone event. It was great. It was a lot of people. I think I'm not sure how many we had. Over 100.
It was 123 is what I heard.
Yeah. So needless to say, their game stuff has this cool back room, which is basically their gaming area. They had lots of tables. 123 people in there, plus another whole half of the place playing, I think, Warhammer. So big store, awesome place to check out. So the format, it was sealed event. So you got 6 packs. We had to make our deck. The way it was working for people who like aren't aware or just want to know how it's going to happen if they go to the PQ, you're going to get in your Melee app. You're going to get your table seating for verifications, what we call. And the person you sit across from you, you're basically going to open your packs, keep them face down. So this is what they had us do. They have us open our packs, kept it face down so we don't see anything except the leader, which is hard to miss, but you want to count it to make sure you have the right number of cards in each of your packs. There were a couple instances where I think people from the same box had like 13 card packs. They switched them out.
Yeah, dude. We had a guy actually have a 17 card pack that was like one over from me. I'm like,
dang.
Ain't nobody gonna be counting that closely.
Yeah.
But
Well, they do count it. So once you do that, you're supposed to give it to the person across from you, and one side at a time does this, and then so the one side gets to go through your card. I guess if I remember, you're doing the same time. I think, right? You're going through the cards, making sure.
Yeah, we did it all at the same time.
Okay. what was the time? Either way, you're basically verifying your opponent's cards. You have they give you a printout sheet. It's in this iteration when they're taking feedback. They had it broken up into columns by color, so aspect.
Yep.
Then
alphabetical
from there.
Yeah. So everything was written out. You don't have to spend a lot of time like writing out the name of the card. You're just gonna put how many there were in their pool. And this little sheet was tiny, so a lot of people made mistakes, including myself. So you had to call the judge over. If you made a mark, they had to like write it in red. So it slowed it down a little bit. But
see, my issue was like you had to sort it as well. Like, so I started by just kind of, going by whatever card was on top, and I was like, nah, it's gonna be real quick to just sort it by color. But the problem was like if you had multiples, then you like. I was just making tick marks until I had to put a number.
Oh, well, they specifically said don't do tick marks.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, to me, it takes even longer to then sort it by doubles to see if there's a double, and it increases just more mistakes. But
I found the most efficient way was like you have to open the packs, you go through them, you count them, you hand them off to the person, they hand you theirs. And then you got to sort them by color. Then you got to alphabetically sort them. That's the way it's presented to you on the list. All your doubles are there. Yeah. I just quickly went through, sorted all my vigilance cards alphabetically, got them there. Like, not as hard as it sounds. And
it's really not. Yeah.
Just knock it out of the box that way. I think I was one of the first people done at my table, just verifying.
Yeah, so it wasn't a problem for me because my whole collection is alphabetized in boxes, so nothing. I'm used to it.
I was used to the set numbers, so I'm sitting here. I see, Burnie, vigilance. Okay, that's going to be at the top. No, all right.
With the hyperspace numbers throwing it off, just wasn't feasible. But
no, it made sense. Like halfway through, I started to be like, all right, no, the alphabetized actually works better. Yeah. But originally, I was like, oh, why are we not doing set number here? But okay.
Yeah. So you write down and make sure you have mark how many cards they have in each card. And we have 45 minutes for this, which I think most people will agree was too much. I think most people were done in about 23 minutes. I think 30 minutes is plenty. So I know one of the feedbacks that I'm giving, a lot of people are giving, is to switch to the timers because they had us build deck building for 30 minutes. And verifying for 45 minutes. So I think swapping that's an easy change. I think that gives you more time.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, 30 minutes is not enough to like really look at my cards and think about my strategy. I think I would have, if I had just a little bit more time, would have gone with a different route for my deck. Especially for when you have to lock in all day. Like this is your deck, so you turn your deck list in, and this is the deck you have to play round one of every game for the rest of the day. You can sideboard after that, but you're basically stuck with what you got.
Yeah, that was interesting. Just kind of going back to the verification piece, though. I think I like the sheets, but maybe instead of like just having the number, having like little boxes, so you could just tick off the boxes.
Yeah.
And then there's no confusion about what the number is, what the like, how many ticks there are. It's exactly, you just have to make a mark and just go. I know the one issue we ran into was Yoda and Yoda's lightsaber.
Oh.
I think the guy had a Yoda's lightsaber, and I think I accidentally marked off a Yoda. And so we had to call a judge, just because things were very close to a name.
It's gonna happen. It's because they were able to go around and switch it. So the other thing, I do like the idea of like having boxes. The other problem is, what if you pull like 4 or 5 of a card, which I had an opponent who pulled like 4 Minox. So,
well, I think the boxes were big enough. You could put 6 marks in there, like.
On the off chance to get one in every pack.
Box it off into 6.
Sure.
Instead of just one big box. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I think it would just be easier and limit the amount of mistakes.
Yeah. yeah, either way,
yeah,
that was
definitely
the
agree on
process.
the timer.
Yeah. And our highlights is the guy across from me. He was talking about like, man, with all these packs opening, I bet there has to be a couple showcases. And as he's saying that, he is ripping the foil wrapper on his Qui-Gon showcase. So good for him, man. That was it's cool to see. And I think the guy behind me pulled an Obi-Wan, so they were there.
Yeah, I don't know, the dude whoever was picking my packs, like, totally set me up for failure.
Oh no!
I told him to give me the good ones, and he just gave me a whole bunch of just. So I was forced basically into what I was playing.
Yeah,
kind of worked out, but it was not great.
Yeah. So when we talk about what we were playing, so I'll go ahead and lead it off. I was playing Obi-Wan Red. Obi-Wan I think is strong in this format. And just I think I went red because I had a lot of units that I was looking at being able to play quickly. But after my first match, which was a mirror match, the guy helped me look at my pool and realized that I had a really good blue pool. And I knew that, but since a lot of it was blue vanilla, which I couldn't play. Like I had the perfect Towson pool, which you'll see why that'd be a great thing to have. So basically, after my first match, I sleeved up all my blue cards, and I basically made a deck that I could, play my first round with the deck that I listed, and then immediately sideboard to basically a whole new deck. And man, it was so much better. So that's why I wish we had a little more time in building, or that you could switch your deck in between games, I guess. But yeah, that can get dicey too with seeing who your opponent is playing. Do you want to mention Tony, first round opponent? Funny guy. I've met him before. I think we met up at a store a couple months back and just sat and open packs. He bought my Snoke off me. Dude, the first thing he does when he sits down is do the sign of the cross. He starts praying. I'm like, oh shit, this guy has the power of God and anime on his side. So he went on to beat me pretty handily. He had a good deck. It was a mirror match. He was playing Obi Blue. And he pulled a cool. He killed my Obi-Wan both games with Protect the Pod. So he had his Obi-Wan out. I had mine out, and Obi-Wan slapped mine around. So that was fun. How are your guys' opponents' experiences?
Experiences all around were pretty good. I was playing Obi Red as well. Like I said, I was kind of forced into it. I pulled 2 villain leaders, both villain green, Elsbeth and Snoke, and only 1 villain green card in my entirety of 6 packs, and it was an Exegol Patroller. So you couldn't even justify going green villain at all. And so it's like, cool. Well, I guess I am playing hero. And it really just, the Bulls was there for green. Definitely. The problem is I fell short really on the Force users. So I had a lot of especially early on, if I didn't get the Gudgy or the Jedi Counselor, I was stuck playing Vulpix and Gifted Urchin just to make the deck work. So that's really where I was able to kind of middle through it through the first 4 games. So I was 3-1 after 4, and then it just fell apart from there because it really, even with the mulligans, I didn't draw Force users early on. My first loss, I mulliganed into no turn 1 or 2 plays. And that one spiraled out of control from there. My second loss, it was actually really close. It was a Towson green, I want to say. But it was never pushing anybody out of the water. It had really good top end. I had a Kelleran, I had a Mace, I had a Raftar, I had Centralic, I had a bunch of lightsabers, which even out of aspect, playing like Heirloom Lightsaber on 4 just seemed to do the job every single time. Playing that on, what is it, Outer Rim Mystic, which is a 2/6, and then following up on the 5 turn, like when they flip a Talzin out and protect the pod, just killing it right away. I did that probably 3 or 4 times during the games I was playing. But I think the lack of removal in the set is like really apparent. In the limited format. It's not. Games seem to spiral based on like the first couple of turns, and I don't like. To me, it seems like there's not a lot you can do about it. I think it's just this set. Like, personally, I love limited. I think this is great. I love just waking up and grabbing my sleeves, grabbing my mat, running in. Like I was telling people, if this was constructed and I hadn't paid, there's no way in heck I would have been there.
Yeah, I think I heard a lot of people say that. They were just glad to just not stress about it.
Yeah,
I know we weren't stressed about it. We were eating seafood.
I was like, I showed up even though I was tired. I was like relaxed. I was like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna play it. Whatever we get, we get.
Yeah.
It certainly showed that there is I think my second loss is where it really came into play. Like, just the pulls were like so drastically different. I mean, he had 2 protect the pods, Talzin's assassins, Talzin, 8th brother, everything that like Eye of Scion, everything he needed for a Talzin green, this dude had. He told me he got like 4 or 5 of those pieces in one like pack.
Nice.
So I mean, he got a Karis, a Talzin, assassin, Anakin, Mother Talzin, and all that, all in just the one pack. And it's like, that's the luck I just did not have at all.
You're definitely playing a little bit roulette in this situation. Let's give Paul a chance here to.
Yeah.
Paul, what are you playing?
So I was playing Third Sister Green. As good as that sounds, is about how good as it was.
Rough.
I had some synergies. It was my best option looking at my pool. I've looked at it a couple of times and like, is there anything I could have done better? And I really don't think there was. Like, I had a rough pool. I saw, my Verify Ease pool, and I asked them if we could trade, and they, of course, objected immediately. I'm like, nah. To give you guys an idea, like, my legendary was Supremacy, so completely unusual.
Leia, so
hey, at least it was in aspect. I had Oppo Ran Sissus.
That was rough.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. A lot of things didn't come into play. I think I had a rare in my deck out of the grouping, but the guys I played with were really cool. It was a lot of fun. I love limited. I know that I could bet on black and it'll come up red, and that's what happened in this situation. You know what I mean? Like, I would have loved a different leader pool. I think that even with the cards that I had, I could have made a different leader really shine. But I got 2 Third Sisters and I believe 2 Grand Inquisitors, so it was a shoddy run for sure. I'll have to go back and look at my exact leader pool, but it wasn't great.
Yeah,
let's put it like that. I think I had a Morgan Elsbeth, so I think I was almost villainy locked in.
Yeah. I had all heroes in mine except for a Third Sister. So I was kind of there.
Yeah, Third Sister is not bad in limited.
She's not. I just didn't have the pool for her.
She's not bad in limited, and I had some really cool plays. My first opponent was Paul Heaver, our friend Paul Heaver that comes on our show every once in a while. and talks to us about how he wins every PQ that he plays in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he didn't win this one.
He did not. He won 5 and 2.
It was limited, so he had to play with a whole different card pool that he doesn't own.
Yeah, I get
but
that.
He still did 5 and 2, so he's
5 and 2 is still good play. And I was really jealous that he was playing Snoke, and I thought that our decks were a lot alike.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing the Snoke Red, I was playing Third Sister Green, and I think we had some similar pools. We had a lot of similar cards going on, and I went 1 and 2 in that round. And when you're playing against the Snoke and you guys are using the same cards, and the Snoke gets the initiative and says like, okay, I'm gonna play a strike ship, and you're ready to play your strike ship, what can you do? You know that at the beginning of the turn, his strike ship's gonna kill yours.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing nothing back in response, right? So it's just like, do I throw this card away, or is it better to resource it next turn, and see if I can do something better? That being said, when you do resource it, when you do throw it away, just know that strike ship's going to keep on getting bigger and bigger every turn, and eventually get you if you can't handle that space arena. So good game, Paul. I had a lot of fun. We had good little chit chat in between rounds, and had a good one.
Yeah, lots of good people. I did have one cool play where I was able to get Killer and Beck out on resource turn 5 with a Jedi Consular. I was like, he's not gonna let me keep that Consular.
I did the same.
Yeah, so pulling him in, and I dropped a third. So I had like 4 units on the board. Thought I was sitting nice. I was gonna win the game, but I don't know what he did. It was a blur, but he came back. He won after I played that. So it was rough. But
I played a Mace the turn before, and then I played the Keller in after that. It was not.
Should close out a game. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the winners here. So let me pull that out. Here we go on screen. You can see a little bit of a theme here. A lot of yellow. So so our winner here, for those who can't see the results, top 4 is Mother Talzin red in first, Mother Talzin yellow is the finalist, and then
did we just lose Raul?
Here,
I think we're losing Raul.
We lost Raul. Well,
can you hear me?
For those of you that are
yeah, we can still hear you, Raul.
Oh, okay, you should be able to hear me. I think my camera's just shitty. So I'm here. But yeah, those are the results. Funny to note, so I asked the DMV Discord for these because we, Paul and I left early because we were trying to beat traffic, so I had no idea who won. But as a reminder for the format, top 8 drafts a Noose deck. So they have their sealed deck, they put that aside completely, and they get to top 8. They draft they do draft for a whole new deck. So just funny note here is both the top 2 winners, the Mother Talzin players, they were playing the same color leader and base that they played in Swiss. They hung out. They were able to hang out to their leaders. But obviously drawing them again, but they had all that experience, of course, leading up to them being able to play again. So yeah, this is what we got here. What do you guys think?
I mean, I would have loved it.
It cut out on my side. The last 2 decks there were Ahsoka yellow, Kit Fisto yellow.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Paul.
I mean, I would have loved to have been able to have a Talzin. I think I had a pretty solid Talzin setup. And I had to abandon that part of the pool, right? But I get it. Like when you're written limited, there's leaders you want to show and leaders you don't want to show. And that could be experience based, it could be pool based, but we know that Talzin, we know that Kit Fisto, we know that even Ahsoka, and
pretty sure Ahsoka's won a PQ.
Yeah, they have won a PQ. Yeah. So like
Sentinel strong.
These have some synergies that are winning, and Snoke too. Right. So like when I'm looking at my sealed, like I know what I want to come through. I want a Talzin, I want a Snoke, I want a Kit Fisto to pop, and hopefully the pieces that go along with them. Shatterpoint is just so good.
Pick here and draft. The person probably drafting Kit Fisto probably noticed nobody's doing Red Hero.
Right.
and went straight for that, and just was like, I've got Kit. Nobody else probably has Kit or Ray. And if you do have Ray, you're probably not playing her because you've got something better. So they probably will all went in on Kit, like just because Red Hero was probably wide open.
Right.
That's my initial thoughts just looking at this. Yeah, I mean, Towson Red, easy. Like I would have had the same setup. If I had a Towson, I would have been Towson Red.
Right.
You know, say if I had a third sister, I'd have been third sister blue. Like that was where my card pool was. It just the leaders didn't pan out. I only drew one Morgan Elsbeth and almost 2 cases worth of, you know, actual product. And here we go to this limited PQ, and I draw another Morgan Elspeth. Yeah. You know, that's the kind of you gotta get some bit of luck at some point. And it's like even if you've got the card pool to kind of like make it work. Like I think in Swiss my card pool had a great curve, but it has to be the right. I think with the 4 stuff, unless you're having one of those leaders that's not dependent on the force, you gotta have ways to just make it go off every single turn.
For sure.
So,
I drew a rare base, unfortunately, in one of my slots. It was the green one that lets you use the force 3 times or get the force 3 times. I considered playing it actually, but not since I was playing Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun doing this, though. Just so everybody knows, like we might be complaining a little bit here, but this event was a lot of fun. It's different.
So
it feels really good to be there, and I know that I saw some people that were having a blast, and I saw some people that are like, "I hate this format." I'm not going to say any names, but
there's some regulars that are like, "I can't stand this. I'm leaving. I'm out of here." And it's like, I get it, but like
it was a lot of fun.
I don't have the hours to just put hundreds and hundreds of reps in.
For sure. It was, if anything else, it was really good preparation for the sector. Like, this will help you ease into that because it's gonna be the same format more or less. As far as I don't know if they'll change it'll be the same format, but I don't know if they'll change the verification. Hopefully they give us more deck building time, but
is sector sealed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes.
So looking forward to that. So he's trying. We'll share a couch.
I'm working very hard to be able to go to Philly, guys. This is I think no longer a permission issue. I think this is now like a financial issue with like getting everything tight money wise. My wedding's in a couple of weeks, man. Like it's super tight money wise.
It's a couple of days after the sector. So, So we'll see. Hopefully get there, but great time. I'll definitely be bringing some premiere stuff to put on the side, but very much amped me up to go play this again at Philly.
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited to play. I left even after going 3-3. I was just like, hey, it is what it is. Like, it wasn't like a terrible feeling where you've put a bunch of reps into a deck, you've got it all set up, and then you go and bomb, a couple of rounds that you shouldn't have, and then you're like, cool, this was a waste of my time. Like, I at least felt like I didn't waste my time. I did get a bunch of cards, at the end of the day. So even though I didn't get, the 5 and 2 packs, I still got a bunch from just the sealed.
Right.
So for people that are still looking to fill out like your play sets and whatnot, there's quite a few cards I'm still looking for. It's nice to have something to leave with. It's not just like, oh, I spent $40 and I'm leaving with this one promo card. Cool. And 4 or 5 hours of my life gone.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely do it again. I want to advocate for draft. Like, so I know people are like, well, we can't make it work. I'm like, hey, hold up. I think we absolutely can. If we're going to play 7 rounds anyway, put people in 8-man pods. You play within your pod, and those are your 7 opponents. You know, I don't know verification wise. I mean, the deck building is certainly going to go a lot quicker because you're going to basically be building your deck on the fly.
Yeah.
Verification, I don't know.
I'm sure they had a method for the top 8.
Cards.
I was there, but I'm sure they did something in the top 8 where people had to verify what they pulled. But
top 8, probably the judge opens the packs, reviews them, then hands them off to each person. It's like, okay, we know what's in here. They might have a verification sheet.
I think probably wait until the end because I would just like. I mean, you're only gonna probably be drafting basically 2 colors. Yeah. So like,
I'll have to ask what they did. Cards. Imagine what they did is they drafted and the person across from them, they handed them their stack and you verified it like we did originally. But I also imagine what I would do if it was the quickest way. So I'll ask them and find out what they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to talk about for a couple of minutes practicing for sealed. You know, with the PQ coming with the sector coming up and maybe some, I don't know if there's any more PQs in North America near us. I'm sure there are. Sorry. There definitely are. I don't know if there's any near us that we're going to that are sealed.
We're always like, no more PQs, you're done.
No more PQs for you. That's it. No more fun. So practicing for sealed, there's a couple of ways you could do it. I know there's a couple online like simulators that will make a pool for you. But like I think honestly the best way is just go buy 6 packs or split a box and open the 6 packs. It's something Paul has been talking about for a while now, and we've kind of done a few times. Open your 6 packs, write down everything you have, put it into SuDB, share it with a friend, see what you each come up with, play against each other. I think that's a pretty good way.
I think absolutely do the pack side of things. The one simulator one I found is just god awful in my opinion.
I haven't tried it.
Let's be honest. If you're going to sectors, right? Like these packs aren't $30 a pack, right? Like we're talking about $4.99 a pack. You can get them at Target now. You don't have to wait for your LGS to be open. There are hangers in Target. Just grab yourself 6 packs, open them up, guys. It's not a lot to commit to for a good, solid pool practice.
Sure. But do buy from your LGS when you can.
If time is tight or you guys are, a bit dark 30 and LGS is closed, definitely buy from your LGS, guys. Don't.
I know that itch to play sealed at 4 a.m. is wrong. Is stuff, the pool. So yes, like if you don't have, I know sealed goes off well when you have more players, but if you can't get a group of 8 or 6 or whatever, 1 or 2 friends can do it. And by saving it on SuDB, like saving that list lets you like really reference it. But it would be good to practice trying to build really quick within 30 or 45 minutes. So that's another thing to practice if you can. Time yourself, see how fast you can build a deck.
Yeah.
Also, familiarize yourself with the cards in the set, right? It's just Legends of the Forest. Like you might just want to hop through. I like to use the official Star Wars Unlimited site and just filter by set. It'll give it to you in aspect order. Like it'll go straight up card set order if you want it to, and just read through the cards. Like you don't want to be looking at Iterant Warrior and be like, what does this do again? You want to know, like that way it'll help you with your deck building. That was probably a terrible example, but
no,
everybody knows what Iterant Warrior is doing.
Sure.
That one's pretty popular.
Warrior did. Yeah, that's a pretty good card there.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good point. And I think people focus too much on what like the rares and legendaries do. And not enough on, hey, what are the commons? What are the like synergies with the common leaders and common cards, and then what uncommons am I looking for to be my bombs, my game changers? That's where, to me, like a lot of your game hinges on. Like, if you don't have a Kiadi and you're playing Red Hero, like it might be a tough day. But those are like things you're going to look for, like the Iterant Warrior, the Kiatis, the Kellerans, the Maces, they purposely put a couple of those things at uncommon just for that fact, like at the 4 and 6, 7 level. They've spoken about it multiple times. Those are the cards you're looking for. Find those, and then hope you get a couple other like legendaries and rares that really play into it.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I started with my deck. I pulled Killer and Bex. I was like, well, that's a pretty big bomb. If I get that out, I most likely win. So let me try a builder on that. So definitely, yeah, like I said, familiarize yourself with those uncommon cards, and for each aspect, maybe take a look at which ones you really like to see, which ones are your favorite, and go from there.
Yeah.
Cool.
For sure.
Yeah. Also, go check out the limited leaders ranking list that I did way back when.
Did you do one for this set?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It's the first one we did. I'm just going to try to put out a couple other short videos on just the stuff we filmed over the time of Secrets of Power, just doing the pre-releases, draft, and then a couple of the other packs I pulled the other night to just do seal practice. So hopefully I can get those done in the next week or so, put together. Give people a little bit of idea of what are some of the things you should be looking for. What are things that how I think about it, which may be different, vastly different than people KTOD, Woo, all those guys who just look at it from a very different perspective. That have tons of card game experience. So I don't know. It's different things we can get out there.
Do you remember what your choices were for top 2 in your sealed tier list?
Oh yeah, 100%. I said Towson, Obi, and Third Sister were S tier, and then I had Stoke A. Just because I wasn't necessarily sure if you could play under curve.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it does play out. I was down kind of on Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think most people were. No, I think even I was like, Sentinel, but I think Unlimited
still don't
feel strong.
I think it's only because there's not a lot of Sentinels in this set. Outside of everybody looks for Churret. You don't get Churret. It's okay, good luck. Most of them are situational Sentinels. So I think that's maybe where it plays a little bit better than the Grievous did, with Twilight. So I think that's maybe the bias I had going into it is Grievous had the same ability and it just was not worthwhile at all. Especially if you were not on the initiative.
Right.
And that's the big kicker.
What makes him much better is the lack of removal in the set, as we mentioned. So for sure.
Yeah, and so Ahsoka, lack of removal, and then maybe it's not necessarily you're using the Force for the Sentinel every single turn. It's more at key turns because your opponents are not Sentinel enough either, or removing your units. So you just attacking through and then being able to, do a Sentinel on your flip turn and then do another Sentinel after you attack if that one goes away, I think is maybe where you're seeing that jump. Because it's I take a turn on the 6th turn. If I'm not taking any damage, that's just enough for me to maybe push past my opponent.
Right.
All right. All right. Well,
still down Kit Fisto. I literally think this dude who's drafting probably only one drafting Red Hero.
That's fair.
So he had the pick of his litter.
Yeah. I actually considered I had Fisto in my pool too, and I think it's originally I was doing red because I had enough Jedi, but my green pool is very strong too. So, all right. Any final thoughts? We're closing out here. I know we've got Philly sector coming up, so it's super exciting. Not sure what else other events I'm planning the near future for SWU, anyways.
No, man, I'm just looking forward to Friday night, just kind of doing a little round robin sealed that we have planned.
Yeah. A couple of us rented a Airbnb, so we're gonna be staying nearby, and I'm gonna try to get a little seal going. Although Paul Heaver actually posted there's an event somewhat nearby that's actually running like an official like at a store, like a practice sealed event. So maybe that's something we need to look into.
I'm hoping to infiltrate this group of sector players here and get in and play some sealed and redeem myself with my
6 more packs available.
With my fun times.
I mean, I still have half a box. Actually, Paul and I had brought packs. I brought enough packs for us to practice tonight before we didn't get to that. All the seafood.
Yeah. The seafood is killer. I'm telling you. We had a little bit of Hollow Knight and some Silk Song going on too. So quick shout outs, man. I want to shout out Paul Heaver. Had a great time playing with you. Shout out to the guys at Late Night Gaming. They were in my little verification pod, like little 4 people right beside me. And they were all real close. I don't know that they're all with Late Night Gaming. I definitely know one of the gentlemen was, and it was really cool to talk with him. And he gave me one of his little Late Night Gaming poker chips, and I just had a good time with him. I, hope that he had a good time at the event. And
since we're gonna do shout outs, I guess my first loss was while I was playing Brian with the Golden Dice.
Nice.
And so just after talking with him afterwards, gave me some decent advice about like, hey, what if you could just give me one advice about like creating content, how to keep going, all of that. So appreciate that from him. He said he would check us out. I'm like, hey, anything you listen, that's great. I'm here just to like hang out with my friends. That's the thing I love the most about it. People listen or not, it is what it is. I mean, I think that's where I've enjoyed like getting the most out of it and keeps me going. So,
nice.
So shout out to him.
Stuff. I guess I'll shout out my friend Shep. Good seeing you there. He's coming with us to Philly, so I got to introduce him to some of the crowd. But I think that's like his home store. He lives like 10 minutes away, so that's lucky dude gets to play this awesome store. So Shep, check him out on. He also does a lot of like reviews. He has his own YouTube channel, Shep Talk. I think he had like a pretty big milestone recently, 1,000 subscribers, something like that. So check him out, give him some love. He does like card opening packs, movie reviews, game reviews, and stuff like that. So shout out to Shep.
Yeah, Shep's a cool guy. I definitely met him, and I follow him, and I think that he was doing Indian movies for a little while, and probably still is.
He was weird. He got that's how he got like a bunch of like his boosts and subscriptions over the last like couple of months was he started doing Indian movies, Bollywood. And man, I guess it's a really niche market that like just a lot of followers. Like, they were good. Like I watched a lot of his episods, and it was fun.
I watched the movies he told me to watch, and it was actually really good. Like he told me to watch The Fighter, and that was a good movie. And I also watched. I want to say Pushpa. I think he said to watch, and I watched that. That was pretty good too. Yeah. So
Triple R. All right, let's land the ship. So awesome, guys. It was awesome hanging out with you. It was cool to see everyone together again. Hopefully, for sectors, we can make it happen. We'll work on here, Paul. We'll make it happen somehow.
We're trying.
One in the back of Adam's trunk.
Just gotta sell a couple of those Warhammer figures or something.
Something. We're getting there.
We'll figure it out. All right, guys. Awesome hanging out.
Man.
Action, I'm Raul.
I'm Paul.
I'm Nick.
Awesome. Catch you next time.